Hi, Success Ambassadors. I just wanted to go over the personal budget with you. Thank you so much for commenting and putting in your opinion into that sheet of paper that I sent you, okay? We see projects just like the one I sent you all the time. And every single time we look at them, we're gonna deny them in the projects, okay? So I'm gonna teach all of you guys the right way that a personal budget should be done from here moving forward, okay? So the one that you guys saw, if we see that, we're gonna deny the project, and then you guys are gonna have to redo it, okay? But I'm gonna show you guys the right way to do it so you guys can have that example moving forward, okay? So thank you for your comments once again. Keep the comments up, all right? That's why we have Success Ambassador groups, so you guys can learn and collaborate with each other, okay? So this is a personal budget that I just made up, okay? This is from May 1st to May 30th, okay? So what this is gonna look like, you're gonna have descriptions here, a plan column, and an actual column, okay? The plan is done always at the beginning of the period. In this case, it's the first of the month, okay? The plan is projecting what I think I am going to spend and earn in the month of May, okay? Then the actual is done at the end of the period, or in this case, the 30th of May, okay? So plan is at the beginning, actual is at the end, okay? So that's gonna create this distinction. If you are trying to do this personal budget in one day, it is not going to work. You start your plan at the first of the period. If you're doing like a weekly budget, then it's beginning of the week and the actual at the end of the week. Or if you're doing it in a month, then it's the first of the month plan and the actual is at the end of the month. I hope that makes sense. So let's go through this real quick, okay? The income. I plan to have 150,000, okay? Whether that's NERA, whether that's SEFA, it doesn't matter what it is. But we're just gonna put on 150,000, okay? My expenses is 150,000. Now why? I plan to spend or to save, I plan to use all 150,000, okay? These two numbers should match, okay? Then as we go down, I plan to have my donations be 10,000, my savings be 20, my rent be 50,000, my utilities be 10, my food be 30,000, and my clothing and school be each 5,000. Then my transportation's 10, and then any other miscellaneous things be 10,000. Okay, now my total expenses that I'm gonna spend is 150,000, okay? These two numbers and these two numbers should match. Why? Because every dollar is allocated somewhere, okay? If this ended up being 120,000, I am missing 30,000 somewhere. Every dollar or every cent or NERA or SEFA has to be allocated somewhere, okay? So you're gonna put 150,000 here and 150,000 here, okay? So I do all that at the beginning of the month. Okay, now the actual. This is at the end of the month or the end of the period, okay? So my income, I actually earned 150,000. So I put 150,000 here. If I only actually earned, let's say 100,000, guess what I would put right here? Yeah, you guessed it, 100,000, okay? So my expenses is I spent 150,000. I did pretty good, right? But if I only earned 100,000, well, I can't spend 150. I don't have that extra 50 unless I dug into my savings, okay? So this, right, needs to match too. Every dollar needs to be allocated somewhere, okay? So my donations, I actually did give 10,000 in my donations. My savings, I actually got to save 25,000 this month, right, in this period, which is really good. I'm saving money, which is really important to do, okay? So always save money, okay? your rent is $50,000. My utilities was a little bit higher this month, so I put it at $15,000, okay? I had to use the heater or the electricity more than I planned. Then my food, I didn't spend as much on food, so $25,000. My clothing, it was right before school, so I went out and bought more, and so it was $10,000. Both my school and my transportation were both $5,000. I budgeted those pretty good. Then other, I only spent $5,000 here, okay? So as you can see, these two columns don't match up exactly, okay? We have a difference between food right here. We have a difference between my savings right here. We have a difference between the other column right there, okay? This is okay. These two columns, the plan and the actual, will rarely match if they are what we call a variable cost, okay? So you guys all know what a fixed cost is. A fixed cost is something you have to pay month in and month out regardless, right? So my rent is a fixed cost. It's gonna be $50,000 no matter what I do, okay? My donation isn't not necessarily a fixed cost, but I do that first and foremost, okay? That's what I do. There's no negotiating. It's always $10,000, okay? My, let's say for example, my school, I have to pay school fees. That's a fixed cost. Regardless, I have to pay $5,000 every month, okay? So these things that are fixed, right? They're not gonna change from my plan to my actual. But things that are, like my utilities, or maybe my other column, are going to change. But as you can see, my actual income was 150, my actual expenses were 150, my total expenses 150, and my total income was 150, okay? They all match. Why? Because I have every dollar or SEFA or NERA allocated somewhere, okay? That's the important part, is that you know exactly where your money is going. So when I ask a question to say, hey, this month, how much did you spend in transportation cost? You can look at your personal budget and you can say $5,000. You know exactly how much you spent. So then what you're gonna do is next month or next period, you're gonna put down, oh, okay, well saving, maybe I could save $25,000 this month, right? As my plan, or maybe I should plan to only spend $5,000 instead of 10, okay? Each month and each period, you refine it. This isn't a one-time thing. You should be creating these week after week and month after month, okay? So I hope that sums it up and clarifies how to do a personal budget, okay? So from here on out, if these two columns are exactly the same thing, okay, we are going to send the project back so that you guys as Success Ambassadors can go over it once more with your participant, okay? Now, we don't want to send it back. We know how hard it is for you guys and how hard you guys are working, but we want them to understand this concept of keeping a personal budget. It's so important. Anyway, thank you for all of the work you are doing. Every day I am blown away and blessed to read your guys' success stories, okay? Keep sending them. Comment on this video that you guys have watched it, okay? I want to see everyone that's watched this video thus far to comment on one new thing that you learned, right? As I went over personal budget, okay? So comment below and we'll talk soon. Bye.